The Eagles just got some game-changing news before taking on the Rams, as some surprise updates potentially just gave Philly some huge advantages in this matchup with LA. Plus, hear why Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown could be in line for big games, and the offense might have just received a major boost with the latest injury news. And overall, this is shaping up to be a fun and exciting battle between the Eagles and Rams, so let's talk about that and all the news leading into the matchup starting right now. Okay, so the Eagles vs. Rams Week 3 NFL matchup is just a couple days away, and this is going to be a very important and obviously very exciting early season game, as these are expected to be two of the NFC's top contenders this season. Obviously, both teams have started the season 2-0, and of course, there's a lot of recent history between the two sides, given that they've played each other 3 times over the previous 2 seasons, with their most recent meeting being an extremely intense, down-to-the-wire playoff game in the snow. And obviously, the Birds won that game and advanced to the NFC Championship following a huge performance from Saquon Barkley in the running game and some key defensive plays from Jalen Carter and other guys. So now, going into this game, the Eagles' defense is going to be looking to do the same and slow down a Rams offense that features a lot of talent.
I mean, like I said, they're moving pretty much every time they get on the ball. So obviously it's a challenge for us, but communication is going to be key for us this week. But we played them twice, last year, so I guess we can say we're familiar with them. But like I said, it's still going to be a challenge. You just got to play him honest. He's a great quarterback, and he can throw it from all angles. That's what's tough. We just faced a guy that can throw it from all angles, and just got to limit that. Our pass rush got to get there. We got to just cause a lot of disruption up front, so I believe we can do that.
I imagine it's going to be a challenge because they got a running game too.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a solid offense, a really good offense, so it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the Rams offense is loaded with talent, and they present a huge challenge. I mean, they got one of the best quarterbacks in the game that has been doing it for a long time in Matthew Stafford. They got one of the league's top receiving duos in Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and they got some other talented players as well. That said, that doesn't mean that they also don't have weaknesses that the Birds' defense could possibly take advantage of. I mean, for one, they have a talented running back in Kyren Williams, but their rushing attack has not been great to start the season, so that definitely plays into the hands of an Eagles run defense that completely shut down the Chiefs running backs last week. I mean, that Eagles front seven, man, they are so tough. Those linebackers in Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell are obviously special, and the defensive line from the inside with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis and Moro Ojomo, to the outside with Nolan Smith, Zadarius Smith, Jalen Hunt, and Josh Uche were great last week. I mean, both against the run and rushing the passer. So I would expect that to continue this week and manage in this game, as of course, we know just how talented that trio of Carter, Davis, and Ojomo is, and they're going to be matched up with an honestly isn't great to begin with, and then who will also likely be missing starting guard Steve Avila, who missed the game last week with a sprained ankle and has continued to miss practice all throughout this week. So again, assuming Avila can't play, that just gives guys like Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Moro Ojomo even more of an advantage that they should be able to exploit. And then in addition to that, the Rams offense has not been very good down in the red zone recently, as they ranked 24th in that area last year, and they currently rank 21st this year. So that's huge because obviously the Eagles offense has had its struggles so far this season. I don't think they're currently ready to go out and have a shootout and outscore their opponent. So if the Eagles defense can hold the Rams to field goals down in the red zone, that's going to go a long way in helping the Birds win this game. Now, my one concern on this side of the ball, naturally, is going to be cornerback Adoree Jackson and his matchup with either Puka Nacua or Devontae Adams. I mean, I feel like that's the one area where the Rams clearly have the advantage and could exploit the Eagles' defense. But other than that one thing, I do feel really, really good overall about how this Birds defense matches up with LA's offense. Also, real quick, I want to take a minute to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, HOF. If you're looking to make smarter, more responsible bets this NFL season, then HOF is the perfect tool for you, as this stats app provides all the numbers, insights, analytics, and probabilities to help you be more informed and make smarter bets. And that's what I really appreciate about it because, I'm the kind of person that likes to really think through things and make calculated decisions. So whether you're like me or you're the exact opposite and you need a tool to help keep you in check and just help you make more responsible decisions when betting, then the HOF app is great. I mean, say I want to place a bet on the Eagles versus Chiefs game. The HOF app gives me a breakdown of the matchup and all the info that I need to make smart bets. Or, say I want to build a parlay across multiple games, the HOF app shows me the most favorable bets and trends across the league, and the Parlay Optimizer tool shows me any weak links in my parlay. And I can make the bets right there in the app. Honestly, guys, if you are going to sports bet, then I think this is probably the smartest and most responsible way to do it. Again, please, please, please gamble responsibly. I cannot stress that enough. And for a limited time only, you'll get a 7-day free trial and also 50% off your first month when you use code PhillyFan at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS or Android, enter code PhillyFan, and you're all set. And again, thank you to HOF for sponsoring today's video. However, circling back, I think it's safe to say that in the 2 games against the Rams last year, the main storyline wasn't the defense, and rather, it was Saquon Barkley and what he was able to do. As the 2024 Offensive Player of the Year put up over 200 yards. So now, going into the game this week, Barkley and the Eagles are surely hoping for a similar result, while the Rams surely are going to place a heavy emphasis on slowing Barkley down.
What do you guys have to do to slow down Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, because he's one of those guys, he gets a crease and he can take it, 60 yards at any point. So it's like you feel like you play good, and then next thing you know, boom, he hits it. So obviously we just got to play sound, good gap sound defense, good knockback at the line of scrimmage, gang tackle, pursuit, all the same stuff that you would play in traditional run defense. You just got to do it every single snap because at any point he can break the game open.
Saquon, that's a tough one-on-one tackle for anybody. There's a reason why they call him 2K, because he was able to break tackles and create yards after contact, but yeah, it's going to be all 11 to the ball, population to the ball, and I'm excited to see who can get a punch out against him. That'd be great. Hopefully it's Landman. He's been killing it, but always making sure that we're having ball attempts and not making it easy for the ball carrier to run the ball.
The Rams certainly know that they're going to have their work cut out for them in trying to stop Saquon Barkley, and they may be confident, but they're definitely going to have to be better than they were last week against Tony Pollard. As the Titans running back ran for 92 yards on over 4.5 yards per carry, which, sure, that's not crazy by any means, and I think you could say the Rams did a decent job there, but we also know Saquon Barkley is a completely different animal than Tony Pollard, and like Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula said, you could play good defense on him the entire game, but all it takes is one, and at any given time, Saquon Barkley can break off a big one. So again, hopefully Barkley is able to take advantage of a potentially favorable matchup and gash the Rams once again. That said, we obviously know that a lot of the Eagles' success, both in the run game and just on offense in general, is going to depend on whether Kevin Patullo can figure things out or not. As through the first 2 weeks, I'll say the run game has shown improvement, but there's still definitely some things that I'm not a huge fan of and they need to improve, so hopefully they'll continue to build there. But when talking about the offense and play calling, it's obviously been the pass game that has been a bit more concerning, as Patullo's first games as OC have yielded the fewest pass yards the Eagles have had through the first 2 games in the entire Jalen Hurts Nick Sirianni era. And while on the surface that isn't great obviously, the real issue comes when you dive a little deeper and look at exactly what the Eagles' offensive scheme and play calling has looked like. I mean, look at these week 2 route trees from Devontae Smith. On the left is 2024 with Kellen Moore's offensive coordinator, and on the right is this year with Patullo running the show. And as you can see, the route concepts with Moore in charge are a lot more creative and there's a lot more going on over the middle of the field, while under Patullo, there's nothing going over the middle of the field and everything is extremely basic. And what's scary is, if you look at Smitty's week 2 route tree in 2023 under Brian Johnson, it looks incredibly similar to what we're seeing with Patullo now. So, that certainly doesn't make me feel great, definitely gives me some flashbacks there to that 2023 season. Meanwhile, if you look at how they're using A.J. Brown, it's been a similar story, as his route tree has been unbelievably basic as well, and his average depth of target through 2 games is just 7.4 yards, which that's well below his career average of 11.9 yards. Not to mention that he's had almost no yards after the catch as well. So, it's clear, the Eagles are not using AJ correctly right now either, and it also doesn't help that the Eagles have struggled versus zone coverage, and in turn, they've seen a lot more of it, and they've barely seen any man coverage this season, which that's one area where AJ thrives, and Brown himself knows that they're going to continue to see these zone coverages until they handle it better.
Do you think you guys are going to keep seeing zone after zone, based upon how good you guys have been historically against man?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell the future, but we'll probably so. Till we do better with it, absolutely.
Again, it's very early on in the season, but I don't think there's any question that the Eagles' passing game has been a mess so far, so, they got a lot to clean up, and hopefully they're able to fix it. That said, though, I do want to point out, look at Josh Allen and Tua's passing charts from Thursday night. It kind of looks similar to what we've seen from Jalen Hurts in the first 2 weeks of the season, although no one's going to give Allen or Tua the amount of crap that Hurts gets for it, I'm sure. And again, I think that's all in the coaches. And I'm really holding out hope that this week could be one of those games where the Eagles really decide to open up the playbook and unleash Jalen Hurts in the passing game, especially with the fact that Rams starting corner Ahkello Witherspoon is not available, as of course he's on IR, and rather, it seems like it could be the former Commanders' first-round pick Emmanuel Forbes getting the start, especially after he was recently listed as the starting cornerback on the Rams' latest depth chart.
This guy's grown physically, mentally. You're seeing him mature as a human being, and I think what's cool is he's added some weight without losing the athleticism, the movement. He's got really, you see why he had all the production he did in his college career. He's got a great concept trigger, got great ball skills. I think there's different opportunities that he can play where he's direct vision on the receiver, or he's being able to play visual on the quarterback with some different things that we do coverage-wise. So I think just getting more and more comfortable with the ability to understand the intent of the calls, the different coverage contours, where some of his play ops are, what plays is he responsible for making, and then what are other ones where you say, hey, man, that's an unbelievable job, but get back in the huddle and play the next snap. He's just maturing. He's growing. I think he's earned the right to have a lot more confidence, and I just love the rapport that he has with his teammates, and it's really cool to see the relationship that he and Aubrey are developing, a lot of trust that's allowed him to continue to grow.
Yeah, I'm sure Forbes has grown a lot since getting to the Rams, especially just getting to practice against some of the best wide receivers in the game. But come on, man, are they forgetting what A.J. Brown did to Forbes the 2 times that they matched up just a couple of years ago? It was not pretty, as A.J. just absolutely bullied him and put up crazy numbers in both games. So if it is Forbes getting the start, then that's no doubt a massive advantage for A.J. Brown and the Eagles offense, and one they should look to expose early and often. So hopefully A.J. and that entire group are able to have a breakout game. Moving on, though, the Eagles are also set to get another big boost in the passing game and also the running game with the return of tight end Dallas Goedert, as of course, he's one of the best tight ends in the game, both as a receiver and as a blocker when he's healthy, so it definitely hurt not having him out there last week. But as I talked about on Wednesday, he has been back at practice this week, and he's now officially expected to play versus the Rams. So again, that definitely gives a big boost to the Eagles offense, and it also would be a big boost to get running back Will Shipley back. And somewhat surprisingly, after dealing with an oblique injury that kept him out last week, Shipley returned to practice in some capacity on Thursday and Friday, so that's definitely a good sign for his health and availability moving forward. And if you'll remember, back to week 1, Shipley had a couple of nice plays and added another interesting dynamic to the Eagles offense, and I think he's going to be a big piece for them this year. Now, he was listed as out for this game, but it definitely seems like his return is coming sooner rather than later, so that's definitely good news. And the Eagles are really going to need all the offensive help that they can get in this matchup with an extremely talented and young Rams defense. That said, a somewhat surprising update coming out of Rams practice this week might have just made things a bit easier for the Birds offense, as defensive end Braden Fiske has missed practice all week with an oblique injury that he suffered in pregame before the Rams played the Titans, and he did play in that game, but he was limited with his snap count, and even though he did return to practice today, there is no guarantee that he plays on Sunday. And that would be a big loss for the Rams, considering that Fiske has had a lot of success versus the Eagles in the past, putting up 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss just last year in the 2 matchups. That said, the Rams still have a lot of talent up front with their defensive line and pass rush, that of course being headlined by the second-year man Jared Verse, who's one of the best edge rushers in all of football already. And the matchups between him...
he has a really good cross chop, has a good club move now, some spin, so... just you can see the more experience that he's had, the more games he's played, the better feel he has for the game. So he's really smooth, really crafty, very smart player.
I think his relentlessness, the way he comes after the ball time and time again, doesn't give up, just that motor. And when you have somebody who has that motor, it's evident on film. And the question I ask myself is, am I going to go the distance with him? And the answer is yes.
Overall, I think this is going to be a really tough game on both sides of the ball. The Rams are a good team, and the Eagles are still working on a lot of things. Hopefully, we see some improvement on offense this week, but still, I got the Eagles winning by a score of 24-20. But that said, you guys can give me your score predictions down in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, make sure you subscribe and you turn on notifications. That way you don't miss any other Eagles coverage coming throughout the rest of this season. Obviously, I'm going to be giving my breakdown and reaction to the Eagles vs. Rams game on Monday. So again, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to show some support, make sure you leave a like because it really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to at least 500 likes today. And also, hit the hype button as well. And if you do want to watch another Eagles video, you can check this one out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.